All right, everybody. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for me to give whatever details I can about my targeted experience. This is Targeted Individual CJBK. If you don't know by now, my name is Chris James, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I don't have any criminal records. I don't have any diagnosis of a psychological disorder, and I don't have any records of having any type of traumatic head injuries ever. Damn, and he gonna keep going. He gotta get out the crosswalk anyway. But so with all that being said, right? Let's see. I had a pretty good day yesterday. I'm gonna start off with yesterday, right? I got paid yesterday. I thought I would have actually made more money, but then I realized that first week of January was pretty slow. Even though I picked up a fifth day of work, I still didn't work 38 hours because you know the the way what am I trying to say? Um, Basically, um, it was short. Like a lot of the a couple of the days was short where I only worked like 4 hours here, 4.5 hours there, and then of course, most of the money that I do make comes from the tips, not necessarily the hourly wage. So um, so I'm I did, I took care of some things. I gave my mother some money because, she um, enjoyed her birthday and all the expenses that came with, celebrating her birthday in December. But, you know, I, I did what I could. I sent her a couple $100 to help her, right? Um, then I paid some bills, put some money towards my rent for February. Um, Now with all this, of course, like I tell you, I actually get V2K, or if you want to call it, um, if you want to call it, what's the other one? Um, Auditory vocal transmissions of remote operators, or if you want to say, um, if you want to just call them handlers, gang stalkers, whatever you want to call them, they basically was hitting me left and right with the, oh, Chris, you don't have no idea, you don't make no money, secret society laughing at him, da da da. Oh, Chris, you should have just became a police officer, da da da. And the thing about everything they're saying, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, I'm still doing what I need to do, taking care of things that I need to take care of without having to sell my soul, without having to degrade myself, without having to, you know, oh wait, I should have went down this block. Damn. But without having to do so much other stuff that would basically go against my own soul. I'm still, managing to take care of the things that I need to take care of, including being targeted, including taking in all this stress, taking in the electromagnetic radiation, taking in all this stuff, the gaslighting. I'm taking all this stuff in, and I'm still managing to do the things that I need to do. Now, it may not be the particular way I'd like to do it, or the rate, or make the amount of money that I'd like to make. But at the end of the day, I'm still taking care of the things that I need to do. Now, their whole thing about trying to character assassinate me, all that's gonna basically come crashing down like a house made of glass. All of that's gonna come crashing down because at the end of the day, they have to try to make me look bad, right? They have to try to make me look bad. They have to tune me first. They have to use the technology to tune me to finally make me feel a low vibrational energy. Why? Because I'm usually always in a very, very high vibrational state. I'm usually relatively easily happy. I could literally look up in the sky and see a bird flying and boom, instantly I'm happy. I could literally just see, I don't know, a child smiling and instantly I'm happy, right? I can do so many different things to manage my emotional state, right? I believe they're incapable of this. Like, all these people are incapable of doing any of these things. Why? Because they decide to give over all of their power first and foremost, they decide to give their power over to artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is only going to work for but so long until whoever programmed it says, okay, we need to get rid of a few people. And the AI is going to know the exact number, who, and know how to basically locate every single one of them. Because you got to remember, we're talking about depopulation. When you look at how many people that's a part of the secret society and, you know, the gang stalking network, it's more than they actually need. So it's like, I'm already banking on the idea that they have no idea what's coming for them. Most of the people probably have never done research or looked into what happens when empires become too strong, or when it seems like it gets a little too overcrowding, right? They usually always follow the same script. Look up several different civilizations of the past that are no longer with us. Study and learn about how they all fell. Now watch what happened to our society, right? Now, then on top of that, you're talking about, they are possibly going to crash the dollar and try to destroy all these different financial institutions and, basically try to force everyone to converge on this digital one world government finance system or whatever. Don't you like this? I like to look up at the sun sometimes and just say there, because I realize over time I believe I'm starting to develop such a sensitivity to energy that I might actually be learning how to direct some energy, just subtle energy, not enough to cause any harm or anything like that. But you know how Reiki is like healing touch, or touch healing type of practice. I think I might be developing or strengthening that a little bit more, but I'm not entirely sure. A lot of times what I feel, man, and we deal with that all. Matter of fact, I just had something like that happen not too long ago. I'm coming down, where was I coming down? I'm coming down Spring, and I'm about to make a right turn. I'm trying to stay on the right side. Of Spring Street and then make a right turn. This car, this I should have started recording back there. This SUV swerves in front of me with Jersey license plates. He first pulls about all basically car fully into the crosswalk, and I'm like, damn, now I gotta go around him. So I go around him, right? And I try to just make my turn. He gonna start moving himself and then basically run the light. And I'm like, you're not supposed to turn right on red in New York City unless the sign says otherwise. But anyway, So yeah, that happened. Then, of course, they want to piggyback off of that. They're like, Chris, you're a horrible decision maker. All the while, they have all this energy basically surging into my prefrontal cortex right now. And they've been putting energy in me all day and night. They've been running energy into my brain all day and night. Girl, she woke up feeling like don't go against the wall. Yeah, thank you. I was wondering how long it was going to take for him to realize. But anyway, I'm like, whew. I'm like, I forgot what I was trying to say, right? Because there's so much energy. There's so much energy in my, like flowing into my brain right now. I can't even remember my train of thought. Hold on a second. So yeah, but after, I'm gonna just start back from about yesterday. So after work, I told one of my coworkers and my girl, let's go like get something to eat or something. I don't know, I was feeling like I was in a good mood. I had a pretty good day. Got paid and took care of some bills and whatnot. So I was feeling pretty good. I said, let's go get something to eat, right? Now, of course, they're all in my auditory cortex talking about some, Chris, you have no idea. You don't have no respect for money. Da 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 da. They're like, Chris, you da da. I don't know. They just be saying a whole bunch of stuff, right? And I'm thinking to myself, well, for the most part, for the last time I checked, as long as I'm taking care of the things I need to take care of, and I'm paying people back or paying the bills or whatever that I need to be doing, I deserve the right to spend my money however I choose, right? Because I made this money, right? So, it was a good outing. Of course, I felt, through this whole thing, you start to feel energies very, very easy. I don't know, like, I'm really starting to believe that I might actually be much, much more powerful than I can even fully understand at this moment right now. I just have a feeling that if at any point I was to, let's say, be outside during some type of cosmic event, or maybe, I don't know, like, cause I've heard some things where, like, some, like, the story about the angel of death and how he passed over the house. I feel like my energy is so special. Like, I feel like my energy is so special that if the angel of death were to drop down right now in New York City and just come sweeping through so many different people's bodies, just to test, just to see where their vibrations are, I believe it'll pass right over me. Like, I believe it'll just completely be like, you good, and just keep on going. Like, the people that's involved in this targeting system, it's like, man, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they live with themselves, honestly. I really don't. Cause if you think about it, you have to devote so much, like, energy. And well, you know what? It's probably not even their energy. They got the AI doing everything for them anyway. Hold on. My whole route is late, so today is just one of them days. Um, yeah, it's a lot of people called out because it's raining. So, um, yeah, and I'm like, you know, the craziest thing is, right? As soon as I stop recording, right, all I hear is like the voices of like probably like several people watching, aka the shadowers, right? Remember that term I told you about? The people. Okay, let's just go ahead and say this. We will never find this information on anything that we think we can access right now. We can't access what they have access to. Plus, if we wanted to gain access to the server, we'd probably have to have government credentials or something. I don't know. But I know this though. There is a server somewhere on the internet that contains every single person's DNA, everything about their memories, everything that they like to eat, what they do, what scares them. Everything about every single person is already uploaded to the cloud and onto a server where these operators, handlers, and shadowers, they're basically either sharing each other's memories or they're basically invading the privacy of people who don't know that their data is uploaded to the cloud. But you know, like my memories, I'm pretty sure. I mean, just about everybody's memories, right? But the thing about being targeted is you just don't have access to your own information. You don't have access to what should be considered your intellectual property or your bioelectric property, whatever the case may be. They made a clone or a copy of yourself, and through this like super enhanced version of augmented reality and virtual reality, they are playing this twisted game through there, right? And to many of them, it is a game. To many of them, it's like a video game. It's basically The Sims. To many of them, it's basically The Sims and Sid Meier's Civilization, right? Hold on. All right, so I'm like, and they're like really enjoying themselves with this technology, because I mean, all right, and I was just thinking about it to myself, like I remember growing up playing The Sims, right? I mean, if you've played The Sims growing up as a kid or a teenager, young adult, whatever the case, you know how addicting and surprisingly pleasing playing The Sims can be. And then if you were anything like me, you were also trying to figure out how to do other things in The Sims too. Why? Because in your mind, oh, they just sent a powerful post to my brain. It like basically like shook my whole like sense of balance and everything. So basically, when you think about playing The Sims, right? You could play the game the way it's supposed to be played, as a natural observer. You actually try to take care of your Sims. You actually try to take care of your Sims. Remember, because pretty much the whole emphasis of playing The Sims is to, innately play as your god, right? Or some type of I guess you could say like a guardian angel or something. Um, and you would think that you necessarily wouldn't want to try to harm your Sims or kill your Sims. But then, at some point, there are some of us who definitely have done some things in the game where, okay, we've purposely made two people not like each other. So then, when the option presents itself, we can make them fight. Or, we know that, like, these two Sims like the same, right? Like, stuff like these two Sims were like the same person. And then whenever one of the other Sims whenever one of the other Sims see that person that they like talking to someone else, you see the Sim get jealous. And it's crazy because when you really think about how you play the Sims, this is exactly that. This is exactly that. And the more I think about it, I'm like, yo, this is kind of almost like, not to say karma in a sense, but I would actually say that we were all pre-conditioned. But this stuff has been going around for more than decades. We might as well just say centuries, because we already know, like, the Romans and everybody else were doing it too. We know the Egyptians were doing it. We know about the Anunnaki or the fallen ones, and they basically taught, mankind how to do the things that we currently do now. So then, at some point, yeah, they got a lot of energy flowing into my lungs. I don't ever get tired coming down this block, but all of a sudden now I'm feeling winded. Come on, man. Damn, I can't even go down that block. Then again, you know what? Let me not even stress myself out, because this whole route is late at this point. I was hoping I had took 2 routes on the first window, because I was like, okay, it's a rainy day, got a lot of call outs. So I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna go into like financial district, I'm gonna just take 2 routes, right? Might as well, right? So, actually no, the first window, the 5 to 7, I ended up going into the Lower East Side, and I actually finished that route on time. Mind you, I was a bit late today because the D train wasn't running in my neighborhood, so I had to play around with the transit a little bit, just to get to work today. I say these things because, well, I don't have anything to hide, and I don't have that much to lose. Everyone who's a part of this society, they have so much more to lose because they cling to this world. They cling to the world that they built because, well, if they were to try to live anything else, they would feel like it's beneath them. But the crazy thing is, when you truly think about it, every time when someone likes to say that something is beneath them, like anything like a natural living or trying to, like, not live lavishly or whatever the case may be, they would like to say, oh, we see the rich, they live so good, they have this and that, and they eat this and da da da. Oh, they got all the best foods and stuff like that. But we don't never really understand what they actually did to get what they got. Oh, stop playing. This one is blocked off too? Damn. They got both streets blocked off. Damn. Yeah, I guess I might as well just go ahead and relax, because this whole route late anyway. I ain't got no choice. But yeah, so I'm like trying to do the best that I can with what I have. I mean, they got so much energy going into my back right now, my lower back. But I am, what am I doing? I am channeling some of this energy out of my body because, one of the things that they do is like, the idea is to store up excess amounts of energy into the cells of your body, which causes the cells to heat up, and then next thing you know, you start to develop pains, ailments, tumors. So what they're doing is basically using energy to cause all these molecular and anatomical dysfunctions throughout your body. And it's only happening to those of us who have a moral conscience, right? It's only happening to ethical people, right? It's not happening to, the guy. It's not happening to the guy who probably beat up his wife last night. It's not happening to, let me not get into that because I'm not even trying to walk down that lane. But all I'm saying is, chickens are coming home to roost, and right now it's a lot of people out here, and I just now coming to the term about what chicken really mean depending on what circles you in. All these pedophiles and whatnot out here. Hold on, so, and then it's funny because now what they're basically pushing is, oh, he's selfish. He doesn't realize he's messing with people's livelihoods. You don't have to do this, Chris. All you gotta do is become a police officer. But think about this. If I consent to it, right? If I consent to it and I continue to turn a blind eye to it, what is that gonna look like against my soul? Like, what is that really going to look like against my soul? How is that going to affect me? Because we only want to have these vessels for probably, 120 years tops, for the most part. Accelerate. So we're only going to have these vessels for probably no more than 120 years, right? And none of us is living that healthy, especially in these types of environments, to live past 120 years, unless you're doing something extra, right? Because the environment that we're in doesn't necessarily permit us to live past 100 unless you're doing something extra, or or God basically got some special, oh my goodness, that incline. Whew. Or God got something special for you, and it's just not your time to go yet, right? Now, secrecy, suppressed knowledge or information, so many different things can explain why you see so much wealth, so much, it seemed like a lot of good people are just dying, but then everyone that's doing wrong, it seems like they just have these lavish, maybe not always long-lived lives. But I'm just realizing so much about this world, and I'm like, man, it's almost kind of hold on, to record in this elevator anyway, but yeah, so it's like, when I think about it,
Floor 17.
I'm kind of almost glad I don't have a lot of money, because then when I think about it, I'm thinking about, like, okay, when you have money, you draw a lot of attention to you, and I don't even think it's necessarily good intention. When you have a lot of money or you have access to natural resources, it just draws attention to you, right? I don't really have much of anything, right? I just have myself, God, and, I don't know, I don't even take ownership of many of the possessions that I have. Why? Because the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. So I don't even sweat myself sometimes whenever something breaks, or if I were to lose something, whatever the case may be, because I realize whatever is lost can be gained again. And a lot of times there's always a lesson that is far more fulfilling and enriching for me to learn from that thing being taken from me. Now, hold on. So, now, they're banking everything about their existence on money, on their, whether they have a house or not, or, if they have a nice car. But all those things can be taken away in a blink of an eye. Like their access to internet, data, all these things. Most of the things I just mentioned, all the sun has to do is sneeze and everything is gone. All right, take care. It's like all the sun has to do is just sneeze. One good time, some energy particles that'll basically destroy almost every satellite orbiting the Earth, and everybody that we so-called, look up to, or as far as like celebrities and things like that, we'll see how much we actually like really care for them when they don't have, and then they'll see if they have real fans when they don't have, and you know what? Oh my goodness. Oh, it's like, the crazy is, it's not that crazy. I feel like it's like my body, it's like my will. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like I feel like I'm young, sprawling, like I have a lot of energy and all these different things, and which is true. I do have a lot of energy. I feel very, I feel fit, like I literally ride a bike 8 hours a day, or for almost 8 hours a day, walk up steps, I'm weight training, I've always been relatively healthy, and then whenever I got injured in any case, I always heal pretty fast, right? But everything changed once the gang stalking started. Once they started full blown, manipulating my nervous system and then directing energy into the cells of my body, it's strange because I feel like I'm living in like 3 different bodies, not just 2, but 3 different bodies. The first body is the soul. My soul has always felt right. My soul has always felt nourished, and I thank God for that. I thank God and I thank Jesus for being an example. I've always felt nourished spiritually, right? And like my mother could tell people, since I was a young baby, I've always been like a happy baby. I've always been happy. Like you could literally give me a box. You could literally give me a box and I'll find some way to have the best time of my life with that box, right? And I would do it all by myself. I wouldn't necessarily need no one to help me with my imagination or nothing. I'd be able to do it all by myself, and I'd be set. And then you got the physical body. My physical body actually doesn't, like I've always been relatively fit. I don't ever really remember getting into any terrible accidents or anything like that. Um, Never really had to be hospitalized for anything really. Right, I've never had to be hospitalized for anything. The most I ever had to do in terms of a hospital is you know is the most I ever had to do in terms of a hospital was, I remember one time I broke my ankle and I had to get a cast because I was playing wrestling with my friends outside, and I snapped my ankle and tried to do a move on somebody. Then what else? And then there was this one time where a piece of my tooth broke off, and the tooth, I could have sworn the tooth had went like, instead of it like coming out of the mouth, it like somehow became a floater, and then it went somewhere into like this hole in my gum where a tooth was or something. And then I don't know, I remember at one point I was freaking out because I was like, I got a piece of my tooth floating around somewhere in my body and in my neck. And then I remember at one point I was while I was on the ambulance with my mother, she was like, Chris, just let it go. And I kept thinking to myself, like, if I let it, because there was a point where I was holding the tooth, I was like holding it, like I could feel it, like it wasn't even there. Where was it? It was like, I forgot exactly where, and I remember I was freaking out because I was like, I don't want to let it go, because if it moves, then I don't think they'll be able to find it. But my mother, she was just like, Chris, don't even stress about it. If they find it in the x-ray, then they find it. If they don't, then let God handle it. So I'm just like, oh man. I was like, all right, so I'll let the tooth go. And I have, every once in a while I feel like that tooth probably might show up somewhere or whatever, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I've never really had any real serious injuries. I've never really had like enemies in my life. Like I never had like, I'm like, I never really had injuries or hold on, let me just, I just realized I didn't get another route for the 1101. I wonder if they're all gone. All right, hold on. So I think I just had my little silver lining moment. So I just finished this last delivery, and the customer, and it's like I was still doing the 9 to 11 window. It's like 11. It's past 11. What is it? It's like, and it's about to rain some more. Let me go home. But it's about like, I think like 12:15, and I apologize to her. I told her sorry, for the lateness. A lot of people called out today, so I found myself doing extra work. Then, among other things, it's raining, so you try not to move too fast in the rain. You try to be cautious. I have had so many days where I've slipped, possibly fallen off the bike, even almost got hit by a couple of cars because, one car was trying to race to catch a light, and I'm like still in the cross. So many different things could go wrong when it rains. But yeah, she seemed very nice. She sounded European, and she still gave me a $20 tip still, and I'm like, I'm like, hey, today's not all that bad, right? It's not all bad. Oh, I need to hurry up. My bike battery's about to die. But anyway, so yeah, man. Like I'm just saying, this whole thing is basically The Sims, right? But they're playing with real people's lives. Like they're, it's like I'm telling you, it's like it's like The Sims on steroids, man. I'm telling you. I don't even know what to say anymore. Because today has just been such a trying day. Luckily for me, by the end, by like towards like the middle of my like second route, um, I realized I was like, you know what? I can already see the rest of my routes are gonna be late for the whole day, because when I got back to the hub, um, to pick up the 7 and 9 route, I got back to the hub somewhere around like 7:30, I think. And by the time I loaded up my cart with the two routes, now some would say, "Oh, you could have just took one route, and then you would have still been, pretty on time. You still would have been on time for your 9 to 11." Yeah, that much is true too. But here's how I thought about it. There was at least still two or three other routes still left for the 7 and 9, right? Or actually no, there was a lot more. So I figured, okay, I'd rather get the routes out than they basically end up not going out at all, because that usually tends to happen. They'll just basically cancel the whole order, and then I guess the customer would just get a refund, and then yeah, they just won't get their groceries today. Now I don't know what type of situation some people could be in. Some people may need their food. So I always choose to at least get it out there late. I'd rather get it out late than not at all. So I said, all right, I'm gonna take two, because they were basically all in the same area. If I ever take two routes, I'm always gonna take two routes in the same area, like no more than, or it's like, if they're not all in the same area, they all kind of lead almost like a straight line going to, like a straight line or something, and I'm like constantly dropping off stops as I'm getting, to closer to like my last stop. I always like to do it that way. But yeah, so I took two routes. Now taking two routes, I knew I wasn't gonna make half. I knew I wasn't probably gonna make half of that route. That route one time, because by the time I left the hub, it was 8 a.m. Now the handlers and the operators, they're all, basically trying to character assassinate me. To Chris, you make horrible decisions, da da da. And then I always keep in mind that, mind you, they're saying all of this while they're actually neuromodulating. They're saying all this while they're actually neuromodulating me. They're saying all these things while they're actually, concentrating this directed energy flow going into my back. So of course I cringe a little bit when I'm lifting, or I gotta focus on my breathing while I'm lifting. Why? Because I actually don't have any back problems. What I am feeling is a response. My nervous system is responding to the amount of energy that is being basically pulled from my cell phone and the RFID chip that's in my debit card. I've learned, I think I've mentioned that in some videos before too, that they can basically use the tap, the tap chip, because it basically converts energy that's in the air into radio frequencies, and they basically are using that to they're using that to basically attack me. Right now, they're taking the energy from the wallet and they're hitting like my lower back, and also they start to form like what feels like a blister or something, right, like in the groin, but like where the seat is, like where I'm sitting. So I'm like, and I noticed it about like let's say 3 days ago, because I was feeling this stinging. It was a burning, stinging feel, and I remember I sat on the bike and I was like, what the hell is that? And then I reached behind me and I felt my hand go right through the frequency. I felt my hand go through the energy, the carrier wave, and I felt like the flicker in my groin. Like, so I had my hand like back here, and then I just kind of like, I don't know, I was doing like this waving thing, right? And as I'm waving my hand back there, I'm feeling a flick, it feels like something is flickering, almost as if like if I took my finger and I was literally like rubbing, or if not even like my finger, because that's still too thick, but it was like it's like I took like a pen or something and I just gently like flicked right over the area where I'm feeling the pain at, or the frequency insertion at, right? Now they're telling the audience, oh, he's setting up his mother, he's setting up his girlfriend. Now, how does someone like me set up people when I don't ever intentionally seek to cause harm to anyone, right? They're saying I'm setting people up. Oh, I guess it's because, I'm not supposed to know about technology, so the secret society is going to start harassing people. They're just going to start harassing electronically my mother or girlfriend or sister or whoever, and then, at times they're like, Chris, your whole family is watching. Everybody watching you. Everybody lost respect for you. And I'm thinking to myself, y'all motherfuckers are murderers, rapists, pedophiles, thieves. If you're not just stealing something, you're doing something. Because, I mean, once I read what a shadower is, and then a shadow, and then I read about what they call passive observation. What is it called? Passive observation shadowers. And then you got the ones, there was a second term for them. You got the passive ones who's just watching. And then you got the ones who are actually actively engaging the shadow. And you are the shadow. They're engaging the shadow and then manipulating different things about that person. Reggie! Alright. Whew. It is a great feeling when I clock out. Because what happens when I clock out is I turn off. First I log out from the app that they love to mess with, to throw off certain GPS features, or try to mess with the app to, like, if I was to be running late or something, they would basically be able to go into the app and like disrupt the server so that it doesn't load properly or something like that. Sometimes they can even prevent me from logging out or logging off. But oh my back. Oh. But yeah, so whatchamacallit? Yeah, I turn my location settings off, the location services off, because that somehow is also used. I think it basically forced the phone to use more power, and then I think also maybe something to do with maybe the GPS sensor or something. I'm not sure, but oh right, so dang, um, there's this app, right? I've only like really messed around with it for about like 2 or 3 times, but because I have to do some more research and learn some more about it. But there's this app. Those of you who are familiar with some tech stuff, familiar with sensors and how to use sensors and things of that sort. There's an app that I think people should download. Hold on. App is called Phyphox. Phy Phox, I think. And what it does, the makers of this app basically made a number of different tools that utilizes all of the sensors except for surprisingly the light sensor on the iPhone, and it tells you why it doesn't actually have the ability to access or use the light sensor. But basically, this app, it has all these different tools to measure everything from magnetic frequencies and I don't know. It's like having like a toolbox, a digital toolbox. But anyway, oh, my back is killing me. But it's not even from the work itself. It's all the energy that's like there's still energy coming off of the phone right now because I didn't even turn off the data and put the phone on airplane mode yet. But there's so much energy coming off the phone, and right now, all right here, there's like this heat. There's like this like heat wave, or like I could tell it's probably the frequencies resonated with the whole right side of the brain. But there's all this energy right here, and it's like right. I've grown used to hearing passerbyers or people who are of the secret society, because think about it, if you have played The Sims, combine The Sims with that episode of it's like combine The Sims with 2 episodes, actually combine The Sims with 2 episodes of Black Mirror. There's one episode where they're referring to people being able to upload their memories, share their memories and things of that sort. There's that one. Then there's another episode about the woman. Well, everyone basically has these like social. What is it? It's like a virtual reality or augmented reality, like point popularity system or something like that. I forgot what it's called. It's like that. Among other things, this whole system is just riddled in Luciferianism. The whole system, and everyone is just eating it up. Like all these people that are just, I mean, quite honestly, they're living comfortably. They're living comfortably because they don't have to go through what we're going through. They're not, the AI is basically supporting their bodies. They're basically, superhuman or like walking brainiacs, right?
while the rest of us, we're getting neuromodulated, and we're being basically cut short and diminished of our full potentials, just so that, you know, other people who are basically getting these enhancements, these synthetic enhancements to give them these heightened abilities and whatnot, they're basically feeding off of us. They're feeding off of us, and they're all having a great time, laughing, pointing, ha ha, look at him, this stupid idiot. All the while, they're modulating your brain. They're modulating the neurons in your brain so that your cognitive functions don't function the way that they should. And let's just say you don't even drink or do drugs, so your brain should be functioning properly. But if you're being neuromodulated, of course your brain won't function properly, because why? They're manipulating the electrical impulses that are flowing throughout your body, you know. But anyway, dang, somebody got a rescue already? Oh, dang. Yeah, that happens. But dang. Yeah, that happens. But anyway, other thing is like I feel it's painstakingly enjoyable to some degree. I'm in pain. I feel all this pressure all on my prefrontal cortex. Like, there is such a powerful energy going right into here, right in here, and it's coming at this angle, and it's heating up all the tissues that's in my body right in my brain right now. I've been taking DMSO. DMSO has been helping me a lot. Liquid iodine, activated charcoal, and also boron as well. So I've been taking these things to try to like see if I can, I don't know, try to manage myself a bit. And you know what? I know for the most part I'm okay. For the most part I'm okay. It's just the part that gets me is like the pain sets in, and then it just like doesn't go away. Then they're like, ha ha, Chris. They're like, ha 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 ha. You know. It's like ultimately I feel strong. Ultimately I feel good. I feel healthy. Like ultimately, yes, I know I naturally do. I naturally am healthy. I naturally do not have any ailments. I know naturally there's nothing really wrong with my body. But what's happening is it's the reaction my body has to the energy that's being I'm trying to clear all this energy out of my brain right now. And the only way I could do it it's crazy. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and just yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. I'm trying, but anyway, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.